Good evening, this is Bandit, and welcome to the penultimate stream of the Variety Cup. You're joining us today for our third place playoff that's happening between Definitive Edition AI and GamesGod. Then on Friday evening, we'll see Illuminati face off against Naga in the grand final. There's been no updates between Definitive Edition AI and GamesGod between their semi-final games and the third place playoff. So this is a straight-up follow-up match. It is a best of 5. So the first 1 to 3 wins will get third place. So we'll see how that goes. And I've also got some drafts to share with you for Definitive Edition AI and GamesGod. So let's pan over and take a look. So that should have switched over there. So we have got, first of all, on Definitive Edition AI and GamesGod sides, GamesGod chose Michi to ban. Meanwhile, Definitive Edition AI was rolling everything random. And we actually had something interesting happen this time around. So Definitive Edition AI rolled Michi as well for the ban. Now, in this setup, it doesn't really matter too much because Definitive Edition AI is rolling random anyway. But what normally happens is if both players ban the same map, then a second map gets banned at random. So if you were Aleph and Promi in the finals, and they happen to both ban the same map, they could potentially accidentally random out a map that they want to play on. So something to keep in mind there when banning maps. But in this case, Michi got banned, and then a random roll was for the second one, which was Arabia that got banned. Then the remaining maps got split between the... before the remaining maps got split, we also rolled for whichever map was going to be game number 5, and that was Yucatan. And that was rolled as a 2v2. Then we split the remaining 6 maps into 2 sets of 3. Definitive Edition AI had Baltic, Land Nomad, and Rivers. Meanwhile, GamesGod had Team Islands, Fortified Clearing, and Arena. GamesGod banned Arena. Definitive Edition AI rolled Baltic and then Land Nomad. GamesGod didn't give me a preference. He just said he wanted to get rid of Arena. So I ended up rolling to see which of the two was number 1 on his list, and I rolled Team Islands for that. Then it came to team sizes. So Definitive Edition AI rolled a 1v1 and a 3v3 for Team Islands and Fortified Clearing. And then GamesGod asked to roll random, and I rolled a 1v1 for Baltic and a 3v3 for Land Nomad. So rolled exactly the same things for both there. So shortly what's going to happen is I'm going to roll to see which of these maps will go first, whether it will be Baltic or Team Islands. So let's pan over to do that right now. Okay, so if I roll Definitive Edition AI, we start with Baltic, 1v1. And if we roll GamesGod, then it will be Team Islands for a starting map. Let's see. And it looks like we're going to be starting with Baltic 1v1. Good to know. So both of these AIs roll random civs for their civilization picks, so we may as well roll those right now. We'll start with Definitive Edition AI. We'll shuffle this 3 times and then click roll. So we have the Malians for Definitive Edition AI. We'll remove that now. And we'll look at GamesGod again. We'll shuffle 3 times and then roll. So we have Malians versus Lithuanians. And we'll remove that from the list as well. Okay, so let's go and set game number 1 up. Now, there were some mentions in the comments from the most recent stream, although I suppose it's lasted for all the streams up till now, that the resolution wasn't quite 1080, even though it said there was a slight bit of blurring. And I switched everything around with my monitors. Graphics card is screaming a little bit in terms of temperature, so if you find any stuttering, please do let me know. But you should find the definition here a bit better because we're going off my 4K screen, which will be rendered down. So we've got Malians versus the Lithuanians. I think that was correct. It was. We're on Baltic. We've got 2 players here. I think everything is set okay. Just not used to seeing it in this high definition. Let's go. And if we switch to capture age, we can put our scores up as well. And of course, it looks like they've gone the other way. So we'll switch these around. So first of all, let's go ahead and rename these. GamesGod, that's fine. It's the AI over here. So that should be fine. And then we'll switch this over to GamesGod. And DAI there. And that should be all set. So having a look over here, we've got a bit of an interesting map. So it looks like all the sheep have been found here. Switching over. Here we go indeed. Hello, Andy. Definitive Edition AI finding his cows there. It looks like we've got deer on the corner there. Boar very close to the water, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'll just zoom in a bit here as well so we can see a bit clearer. And Randy, from your perspective here, is this looking a bit clearer than it has done previously? It'd be good to know if the difference in resolution is actually worth it. It is. Okay, good. GamesGod is missing one of his boar. So this could potentially be a problem. He is pushing deer, as we can see here. So that will help. Actually, he's stopped pushing deer. He's gone into basic exploring. Interesting. Looking over here, though, we can see a dock, actually, from Definitive Edition AI. Got a fishing ship on the way, but most of the villagers are gathering from the ball. We've got 7 on wood, so looking like it's going to invest a little bit in fishing ships, to get that initial eco. First fishing ship looks like it's going to be scouting, so it doesn't quite land to gather fish at the moment, so not fully efficient yet. GamesGod looking like it's about to click up. 19 bills, loom, looking all set. And there he is. I'd say this is a rather awkward path for GamesGod. I think it's quite a long path, so I don't know how much damage a Feudal Rush is going to do here, particularly against an AI like Definitive Edition. DE could go for some sort of Feudal Rush as well, but given that it's investing in fishing ships, I anticipate this will go into some sort of fast castle, given that it's also 24 bills with a 5th fishing ship on the way. But yeah, this is a horrible path. GamesGod already with the militia. Doesn't always attack straight away, and he does eventually find that second ball. So a pretty fast time up considering he missed one of his balls. So the deer pushing did help with that a little bit. So well done, GamesGod. Got a tower. We also have a dock for GamesGod, so we might see... He hasn't got any on stone at the moment, so initial tower has gone to protect the land, which I think is the right choice. But normally GamesGod also towers behind his docks. So potentially one to look out for. Something awkward happened with that ball. It didn't go back straight away. I don't know if a Vil was lost from that, but... in fact, yeah, eco-death. We did have a dead villager, so unfortunate, awkward pathing, I think, coming back with one Vil hunting the ball late while these were gathering berries. So not a great start for GamesGod, though the militia line are moving out. The EAI building a tower, good position for it. Looks like he's trying to build a wall with its buildings. Very nice. And we got our first bit of action here. And a nice villager defense there for DE. We've also got galley and a fire ship coming from GamesGod. Wow, 3 docks, 5 docks. Okay. So Definitive Edition AI has gone 5 docks, so this might actually really help GamesGod. We've got Man-at-Arms on the way, just a little late. He's going to lose that militia before the Man-at-Arms upgrade comes in. I feel like we should send a screenshot of that to Offro. I don't know if that is intentional, might even block some of the ships coming through. We'll see what it does with it, but I don't think it's going to be training 5 fishing ships on the go. I'm pretty sure that's some sort of bug. But look at the house wall here. Very nice. Saw something similar to this in Ulysses, Offro's previous AI. So I don't know if that was something he finished off, or I think Promi said also he'd worked on a building walling system. But looking really good here. We've got fire ships on the way. Galley is scouting, so actually isn't shooting these, but the fire ships might do a bit. But actually, okay, maybe not a bug. We've got 4 fire ships in production here by Definitive Edition AI. I've very much taken control of the water. It's really lucky that the attack on land hasn't done much, because if GamesGod had committed more to men-at-arms, then he'd be in big trouble right now. But so far, so good. So heavy water commitment here from Definitive Edition AI. We do have a little demo raft. It's not going to take out all of those fire ships. We might need to get a couple of those going. And we're switching into possibly skirms. GamesGod looking like he's comfortably trying to get to Castle Age as well. So saving up the food. Meanwhile, Definitive Edition AI already clicked Castle Age. Not much of a surprise there. Oh, we got a mix of stone walls and palisades. Hasn't quite fully walled. Got a glitching villager here as well. Oh, actually, that's horrible. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where they're trying to gather, but that is not good for Definitive Edition AI. So we've got some interesting things going on here. So we've got 5 docks. We've got a building wall, which I don't mind actually. Horizontal gate here as well, which is a particularly nice placement. We've got a glitched out villager here who's trying to get to some sort of mine. And we did have a couple of villagers here trying to chop wood. But actually, 10 fishing ships from Definitive Edition AI staying put. They're not moving out. So GamesGod's single dock is looking okay there. We've got Castle Age for GamesGod 2. These are getting upgraded, and we've got a TC on the water. So what is Definitive Edition AI going to invest in? We've got some eco upgrades. Ah, look. I did wonder if this would happen. I think there's a gap here. I think they can get through. They're just staying put. We'll find out shortly, I guess. Yeah, they can move through. Got a fire ship go for the houses here. Those fire... like I say, the fire galleys are not even fire ships yet. They're not going to last too long. GamesGod also going for a second TC. Definitive Edition AI going for its third on the gold there. Very nice. Prefer that to the second one it built. But at the moment, Definitive Edition AI is just booming. We'll get a monk to collect some of these relics, because there's one right next to the TC here. GamesGod may do the same. Might be waiting for a third TC first, so got a load on wood. And it's replacing a lot of farms. But yeah, it doesn't quite have the resources of Definitive Edition AI and already breaking ahead in the villager lead. Got a castle as well. Oh, okay. Well, that's the GamesGod we know. So we've got a single villager going to... He's attacking and he's using build forward. So hasn't scouted this area, I think, is what's happened. So this tower should cancel once they see the castle. Hopefully, otherwise there's a lot of dead units. Good tower positioning, nice yoink there from the monk. Oh, but we are seeing villagers go down. And actually, with enough avoidance, if they get around here, they're not. They're going the other way. But we've got a couple of villager kills there. Actually, as they come out to build this mining camp, and they don't, they retreat. That's some DUC, I think, from Definitive Edition AI. It's very nice. But GamesGod's staying on 2TC, it seems. Investing in more docks. Ugh. I'm not sure about that, but we're going into Gabettos, it seems here. That's the unit of choice for Definitive Edition AI. Looks like the crossbows are prioritising the Vils over the Gabetto, but the Vils do get away. And the Gabetto goes down. Okay, we're getting naval upgrades. We've got careening on the way for GamesGod, so we got also demo rafts going in. So a bit of a weird upgrade choice. Trying to remember what careening does. Quicker moving ships, it seems. Wow, they can move fast, but they're not going to do much yet. Wow, cheeky monk going into GamesGod's neck of the woods. And actually, Gabetto count increasing. We've got 6. They're producing relatively quickly out of that castle. We've got the eco behind it. GamesGod not too far behind on villager count. That second TC is helping, but he's not really doing anything else with the additional resources that he's got. Potentially saving for a fast imp. Don't know if that's intentional. No, he's just switching units. He's going into cavalry archers now and building towers. I think the monk's going for this relic here. So we're going to get the occasional monks wandering in. Yeah, there they are. So those crossbows will not let that happen. Elite Skirm coming in. Clearly not a fan of the crossbows. Wow. This dock under a lot of protection from GamesGod. So that's where his resource is going. He's gone 2TC to just build extra towers. He's going Cav Archer and Knight and Skirm. So we've got a true GamesGod army being formed over here. Meanwhile, the Gabettos are massing. We've stuck to 12 and we've gone back to booming. We've clicked Imperial Age for Definitive Edition AI, and we've got more archery ranges coming. It's investing fully into skirmishers now, it seems. Galley on the way, but it's against fire ships, and 9 of them at that. Okay, so going full into demo rafts, but no upgrade for GamesGod. So these are demo rafts, not demo ships. Some demo ships would be amazing here, actually. These are quite closely gathered together. Potentially even hit the fish and get the eco lead down. When he said GamesGod is starting out with going into fishing ships at this point and gain upgrades for his knights. So I think GamesGod just splitting his attention a little too much. Wondering if there's any villagers fishing here that the demo raft might be able to pick off, but no, I think this is a scouting demo raft. Second castle goes up, and we're going back into Gabetto production here as well. Yeah, good hits with the demo raft, just not upgraded yet, so not doing the damage it really deserves to do. It's not really the target you want. Still scouting, it seems. Military levels roughly even for GamesGod and Definitive Edition AI. We've got military rolling in now, but these cav archers are going to fail shooting again because this has still not been fixed by GamesGod. Oh no, I did hear some shooting then. They are occasionally firing. And the skirms actually not doing bad against the Gabettos. These are unupgraded skirms. Unfortunately, the Cav Archers are now misfiring. But the military levels were close. The Knights will chop down some of these. But I think Definitive Edition AI is gradually getting a lead now. The Cav Archers are down. I think it's just better that GamesGod ignores the Cav Archers and just invests in Knights instead to take this on. Villager sniped. And Extreme AI here, halting on the villager production now, focusing on military. We have Elite Gabetto as well now. And this is starting to look really bad for GamesGod. Knights moving out, those monks still filtering in to try and get that relic. And GamesGod should recover the relic in the end. Wow, the cheek. GamesGod has to punish this. We've got pikes in there as well from Definitive Edition AI, so these Knights will go down quite quickly. It looks like they're prioritising the siege, which defensively would be great, but we really want to get these numbers down, and Definitive Edition AI has doubled the military at this point. It needs to take these units out while they're in a conga line. But actually doesn't have the power to even take the pikes down. Malian's getting pierce armor, additional pierce armor for their infantry. So yeah, Pike's actually tanking more hits there from the elite skirms. On the naval side though, it does look like GamesGod actually took the win. We were at 9 fire ships, we're now down to 2. Meanwhile, GamesGod is producing out of 4 docks. But while that's happening, Definitive Edition AI is investing more in land, and the land army now approaches. We've got siege on the way as well. We've got trebs being built at the back. We've got 8 barrack pikemen, along with 2 castles producing Gabetto. And those are backed up by 26 skirms. It's a big army, and I don't think the towers are going to help here. GamesGod is producing the skirms, which would normally do well here, but I think the extra pierce armor's doing just enough. Maybe it's only reducing it by an extra 1, but it does mean it's a lot of skirmisher spears that those pikemen take. Gabetto goes down. It's a lot of idle time here for GamesGod. A lot of idle eco, I should say. We've got Definitive Edition AI with the idle TC, but that's just because it's reached the villages it wants to reach. We have a castle here. We'll protect the dock, but it's a little too late, I think. GamesGod hasn't lost too many vills though. They've been garrisoned. Oh, but the trebs are here as well now, so the TC goes down. And GamesGod seems to be investing in navy. Military levels not unachievably different, which is impressive. I think though a lot of GamesGod's is on the water now rather than the land. So those numbers are perhaps a little bit misleading. It's looking like double the military for Definitive Edition AI. And I think once this TC goes down, it's lights out for GamesGod. I'm just going to speed this up slightly because Or should I yet? Maybe the numbers aren't there yet. Give GamesGod a chance to recover here for a moment. He is using DEC, he is taking out some of these elite Gabettos. But yeah, you can see the eco's getting hit now. And there's a load of wandering villagers around over here. The disrespect here from Definitive Edition AI. This is the kind of thing I expect from Naga. Forward TCs in the opponent's base. Meanwhile, GamesGod rebuilding at the back here. Good survival instinct. In a team game, that'd be great. And at this point, with 38 builds now, I feel happy to speed it up. And the Navy come to take down the castle. And there we have it. First win for Definitive Edition AI. Let's take a look at the stats. I was quite surprised by GamesGod's strategy on that one. 2 TCs. Just invested the extra resources into, I guess, unhelpful upgrades. I was actually just today over lunch rewatching Hera's video on how many TCs do you make and the strategies that are around them. So it was interesting that 2 TCs came up here as well. But yeah, outboomed by Definitive Edition AI. Though interesting about the 5 docks, I don't know. I don't think that was intended. I think Definitive Edition AI could have gotten away with just 2 or 3. I know there was some chat about multiple buildings being built at the same time with older AIs. I wonder if something has changed, which has potentially impacted that. So we'll keep an eye out for repeat buildings here, but we've got a steady growth here of military from DEI. Some of this started off as mostly Navy, and then it and GamesGod both switched at the same time. And it seemed DEI was on the right side of both. In terms of economy, a comfortable lead here by Definitive Edition AI, as we can see. GamesGod wasn't too far behind on villager count, actually, considering a load of that eco count was fishing ships for Definitive Edition AI as well. GamesGod did a good job of keeping its TCs busy. DE, though, being a bit quick on the relics. Good Feudal Age uptime, got some initial disruption with the militia, but maybe could have done better to hold off, wait for the men-at-arms upgrade to come in and get some fatalities on the villagers on the woodline, maybe even slow down Definitive Edition AI's naval push at the start. But decent first game from both. As GamesGod has lost, we're going to now play on GamesGod's first map, which is also a 1v1, but it is Team Islands. So be good to see another Team Islands game, but I'm also just going to change our score here as well. So it should be a 1 over here for DEI. Excellent. So let's switch out a game to... oh, actually, we need to roll civs. We've got 2 randomers. So random civ. And we'll start with Definitive Edition AI for this one. Again, it's a 1v1, so we only need 1 roll. And it's a Malay. Great civ to have on Team Islands. And then rolling for GamesGod, we have Saracens. Decent. I was a bit worried he was going to get Aztecs for a moment then. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how both of these go. I think they're both pretty decent. Now we can switch the game. And Malay was Definitive Edition AI. And the Saracens for GamesGod. Everything looks good to me over here, so let's start the game. We'll switch over to Capture Age again. And it does look like the civs are the right way around this time. Pleased to see. Let's go ahead and change the names on the bottom right. There we go. So, we had an awkward boar law last time from GamesGod. Looks like he's finding this one a bit easier. And this is the second boar actually lured as well, so he's lured those in really quickly. And he's pushing in deer. So very much making the most of the map. Slightly awkward from DEI. A lot of villagers losing health there, but non-dead as far as I can see. And it looks like everything that it needs to find, it has found. Oh no, not quite. We're missing a couple of geese. I'm actually missing quite a few. But it has got the deer there, so it should have a consistent food supply. Going back to GamesGod, I actually just want to see if it has missed anything. I don't think he has. Oh, no he has. There we go. 2 geese. 4 geese. So actually similar situation here. These will get found, I'm sure, once villagers start gathering the berries, but I don't know about these guys. I don't know if they get seen unless a dock gets built towards the back. So we'll see how that goes. In this matchup, though, I don't know who I favour more. I think my leaning would be towards a Malay. Saracens do get heavy demo ship. GamesGod does like to use heavy demos. But we do have fast fire ship here, and for melee. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they go for. We also know that GamesGod can go for transport ships. We saw that in the game versus Silvertongue. Thankfully, Silvertongue, or thankfully for Silvertongue, I should say, had the fortifications and enough of a military on land to be able to defend against it. But GamesGod very much catching Silver Tongue off guard with some siege. I did a lot of my Team Islands testing against Definitive Edition AI. So I started off with GamesGod and then moved on to Definitive Edition AI because I wanted to particularly target those who try to boom, because they tend to be the ones Brightspark struggles with on team games. And Definitive Edition AI can also do a really good transport ship strategy later in the game. So we'll see what it decides to do. It is in fact GamesGod that clicks up first, but Melee do get faster aging up times. So Melee might not be that far behind overall. It does look like, again, D is focusing on getting a dock, getting fishing ships. So we've got 7 on wood. This very much looks like a similar build to what we had on Baltic. I wonder if we'll get 5 docks. We might do. Just the one from GamesGod. No fishing ships just yet. I'd argue whether you need the dock here. If you're not going to train anything from it straight away. Oh no, it is. It is going to make fishing ships. So it looks like it was just escrowing for a bit. So you want to make use of the building while it's there. But wow, already it's like a 10 eco difference between the two. And GamesGod isn't that far ahead in terms of age as well. It's only about 25 seconds ahead. So I'd say we got nearly a minute of idle time from the TC. But yeah, really good job from Definitive Edition AI. Actually, I think getting those fishing ships was the right call. We've got 1 dock. I thought it was going to be another 2. So we've got another dock over here. Some eco upgrades, and we're going for fire ships. So Definitive Edition AI knows nothing can cross over without a transport ship. So let's invest in Navy. Meanwhile, GamesGod protecting its dock with a tower. I don't mind this. I think I'd prefer his dock to be on the front, particularly if he's going to tower it. But he's going galleys. He hasn't scouted anything from the enemy yet to know that it's going fire ships. But actually, it's switched to fire ships already. Interesting. I think at that point it is the right call. That galley might be able to... I was going to say it might bump into some fishing ships, but it's not. It's going to bump into the fire galley. We've got a 3rd dock. We did have 5 in the last game from Definitive Edition AI while in Feudal Age. We've got 3 fire ships on the go, so it is massing up Navy. We do have a dock on the front for GamesGod, so it's investing more in Navy than it did before. We've got a 3rd dock at the back. So it seems to be mirroring Definitive Edition AI. It's just a little bit behind. It's doing it slower, so B should get the jump on GamesGod here. It's also 10 eco behind, but GamesGod is switching into demo rafts. Not bad if the fire ships clump together, which at the moment they are. If it goes on the attack, it could be good. Definitive Edition AI also towering its docks. I really like this. Docks in one place, towering to protect most of them. That's really nice. We have a 4th dock from GamesGod. So GamesGod now fully investing in water. Got a lot more idle time in the TC for GamesGod. And he's buying wood. Interesting. So he's got 3 docks, but he's not able to produce out of all of them yet. It's producing out of 2. Fireships and galleys is now producing out the 3rd one. So, and it looks like he's moving for some sort of an attack. Demo Raft dies. Now, compared to GamesGod's game against Silvertongue, he went all in Demo Rafts. This time he's mixing them in with Fireships. So he actually has something to secure the area after the demos have gone. Which he didn't have last time. He'd clear the space and then he'd have nothing holding it. So I do like the mix. And actually, if the demo rafts can come in at the right time here, potentially could get a lot of damage done. Neither looking anywhere close to castle just yet, though it looks like the Malay have they're setting up for it. They've got 17 on food, whereas GamesGod is mostly on wood. So looking like he's wanting to really invest in that navy and keep it going. We do have 5 docks here from Definitive Edition AI, like in the previous game. So maybe it wasn't a bug. Maybe it does build 5 docks on hybrid maps as well. Potentially a bit of an odd choice, but it is in the 3rd place playoff, so maybe its strategy is better than mine. Okay, so GamesGod's ships are massing. Military levels are about even. And GamesGod has demos following up here. Also looks like he's trickling these units in, so these should go down and GamesGod should creep ahead. But Definitive Edition AI's click castle. And he's going to have a big technology lead coming up soon. Rafts come in. They're... What are they doing? Some great shots there. Looks like military's still roughly level though. A bit of hesitant booms there, but they were decent booms. Took out about 3 or 4 fireships from that with 2 demos. Everything's looking level aside from the Castle Age, and I'm a bit worried about that for GamesGod. Definitive Edition AI is going for a TC, so it isn't going for a castle here. I think a castle here stops anything GamesGod has to throw at it. So GamesGod is going to continue investing in water. Again, doesn't look like it's saving up for Castle Age yet. Has a handful of farms. So these will go forward, but Definitive Edition AI has upgraded units. And this should take GamesGod's army pretty easily. A couple of demo rafts do get damage in. GamesGod is producing out of all 5 docks. Definitive Edition AI producing out of 3 to 4 of them in one go. More demo rafts on the way. Military levels continue to be level. Actually, the DUC targeting, I guess, from GamesGod, or at least the patrol, is doing better than whatever Definitive Edition AI is doing. It's quite surprising to see. And GamesGod is keeping the production going. D is detracted by having 2 TCs and getting upgrades. So this is a little window here for GamesGod to push its advantage, stopping villagers from fishing as well. Is this where the targeting gets awkward? We've got some mass war galleys, demo ships on the way, but actually a load of those demo ships go down to take out very few ships. So I do like that exchange for GamesGod. Fletching just in. And we still have a continued trickle of these ships. I think at this point, GamesGod needs to regroup. Because these fire ships will get shot down by this little ball of war galleys. Still very much settled in feudal age. Ooh. A demo raft here would have taken out like 3 bills. Gets to 1 instead. 7 docks! Seven docks. Of course. He's also going into fishing ships now. So this will balance out the eco somewhat. Although, check this out. 2 TCs again. This time Definitive Edition AI. That looks like he's saving up to Imp to me. Got a 3rd TC coming down. Okay, he's not saving up for Imp. He's only got 5 on gold. He should end up spending more of that food once the 3rd TC's up. But it is now Definitive Edition AI that is moving out slightly. GamesGod's still producing out of 7 docks. So we'll keep the numbers going up. We'll very quickly outnumber Definitive Edition AI. But the AI's booming, we know what happens here. Just passing. It's looking like these war galleys are able to do a lot of outrunning. 2 of them go down. GamesGod's still outnumbering. Weird targeting that they're doing here, but they are at least targeting the war galleys, and those should go down. Wow, look at these 4 demo ships and another 3 on the way. Look forward to this. 7 docks still produced for GamesGod. Actually is getting ready to go to Castle Age, just as Definitive Edition AI is not far from Imp. But I suppose Imp doesn't necessarily matter. If GamesGod can hold the water, then Definitive Edition AI won't be able to do much with that Imperial Age. It does have access to fast fire ships, so in the fire ship wars, it will be ahead of GamesGod. We've seen before, GamesGod doesn't always upgrade its military straight away. Oh, that's a lot of demos! Not an efficient trade of demos there. GamesGod wants them to attack those on the front, but oh. Okay, there were some decent demos. Both still producing out several docks. D could technically go Imp if it used this market and sold its food. It's not going to. So actually this is pretty bad. Floating 3,000 food with no market rule to kind of deal with that. First BX, it does have a market. So it's just it's not firing the rules. What would you spend that on? I guess you could do the castle research and get two-handed swordsmen that only cost food, I guess. But that's a lot of floating food there. 4,000 now. No selling. Or no, no selling food. So again, GamesGod has a window here. It is actually getting the upgrade this time as well. Has gone up to 3 TC. Is spending all of his resources. Is unable now to sustain from those docks, and potentially because he's building a couple of town centers at the same time. And Definitive Edition AI I mean, the tech at least is level. But the numbers are even. Slightly going in GamesGod's favour. Some inefficient trades there with the demo ships. But he's back to producing from 6 docks. The TCs are built and the villagers are back to work. So GamesGod looking to hold the water here. And we've got 2 more docks from Definitive Edition AI. What is that now? 8 docks from DE. We've got a load of upgrades coming in. Going for Galleon. Interesting. Considering there's a lot of fire ships still on the field. These docks are keeping GamesGod occupied. We haven't got Thalassocracy yet, I don't believe. So these docks could be in shooting arrows. Instead we're going for Cannon Galleon. I know, fast fire ship. What we talk about. So yeah, I was a bit afraid of the fast fire ship coming out, but here it goes. Got a conversion as well. We've got a load more military for GamesGod, but he's actually switching into land military. We've got 3 transport ships as well. Hello. 3 transport ships might be a bit ambitious for the amount of army he's got going on at the moment. 1 archery range producing cavalry archers which don't shoot properly. GamesGod, that's not the military you want. Just focus on the navy. You're doing well with that. And as we can see here, we've got a tech advantage. We've got a focus now on numbers because Definitive Edition AI is fully boomed. GamesGod doesn't have any castles. And we are going to see this navy move forward shortly. We've got Trebs being made. We've got Siege. We've got a transport ship from Definitive Edition AI as well. 3. Oh, wow. Another 3 transport ships on the way. Where are you? Okay, so just sat there at the moment. And Definitive Edition AI is pop capped. So GamesGod will catch up in military numbers. Meanwhile, it looks like Definitive Edition AI is culling its villagers slightly to produce more units. Ooh, galleys versus fast fire ships isn't what you want. But the demos here could get some value. And they do. Quite decent value there as well. 23 galleons. Fire ships coming in. GamesGod could start taking this. It looks like the Navy's split. Yeah, some decent trades for GamesGod, and actually, Definitive Edition AI, the military count is because it's going into Karambits. Load of Karambits moving forward here. Where are the transport ships? We see them moving. Where are they moving to? Oh, they're just gathering around here, so they're not moving out yet. Meanwhile, GamesGod has docks under attack. Only 9 military here, producing out of 6 docks. Or at least being able to sustain that production, but it's actually the villagers now on the shore being attacked. So some of these will get picked off. And I think we've seen this before. It's not looking good for GamesGod. a fully boomed Definitive Edition AI. You can turn these around pretty quickly on water, I find. Ran a number of tests against Definitive Edition AI on Team Islands, and if you can get like a decent group of fire ships in particular, the targeting's a bit weird that it relies on, so you can focus down a load of these ships quite quickly and clear the water. It has led to a lot of tie breaks, but I don't see it happening here. The units are trickling in, and they're not attacking the nearest one. They're not they're not patrolling. So actually this should be a nice steady stream for Definitive Edition AI to defeat with the death ball of units it has. Also, it's clearing the way here so we can get a boarding party. So you've got to keep an eye out for that transport ship because it will drop them off. And from what I know of Definitive Edition AI, it will be pretty relentless when it does. Yeah, the targeting's not great here. GamesGod struggling for gold, so he's selling a load of resources for it. Trying to rebuild his docks. You can see here units getting ready to go. 71 karambits is somewhat terrifying. And they could all be transported across. 20 per transport ship. I actually don't know. I haven't tested to see if a karambit goes into a transport ship, whether it takes up one slot or half a slot like it does with pop space. I'm assuming it takes up one hole, so only 20 karambit warriors would fit in a transport ship. But it'd be interesting to know if 40 did. I suppose we might see shortly. Oh, we got bombards as well. Bombard towers. I mean, GamesGod's not coming back from this, surely. So, on the sea, this is what I mean. We've got 27 galleons. Currently, GamesGod has 15 fire ships. You mass a couple more and come in for the counter here. You clean this up, and suddenly you're controlling water, and Definitive Edition AI is stuck on the land waiting for a transport ship. So GamesGod's not out yet, but the targeting is horrible. I don't know if he's relying on TSA, and so he's trying to target some of the middle ships because they're closer to the TC. It seems to look like what's going on here. Whereas, yeah, a DUC patrol attack, and you'd be attacking these on the edge and whittling them down pretty quickly. It looks like they are starting to attack now, but it's just a little too late. Yeah, and he's lost gold, so he's not producing here. I do really want to show, if I can. Oh, this is a great castle. I don't think it goes up. But that is a great castle, and Definitive Edition now, I wouldn't avoid it either. I really want to show off, if I can, Definitive Edition AI's transport ships. Because when they get going, they're really good. It's definitely something to model your own boarding parties from, if you're making AIs. But he's still getting his upgrades. We're going Elite Battle Elephant now. We don't even have any elephants on the field yet. It's just going, I've got so much resource that I can afford to do that. And once this boarding party does go to shore, GamesGod is dead. There's no coming back from it. Villagers desperately trying to get a castle up. You might find a decent spot for one. That's just out of reach, but not there yet. I think it's also out of gold. Didn't actually get the relic. Could have helped. It has upgraded to card tower. Yeah, I'm missing a few things here. Isn't mining this gold. Probably within range of the enemy, so that's why he's not built for these. Wow, GamesGod, why are you building transport ships? It's not what you want at this point, friend. And these transport ships are remaining stationary. I am going to speed this up because this is taking a lot longer than I had anticipated. I feel like D should have really taken this by now. Yeah, and look at this. The fire ships should be taking wins from these fights, but they're not attacking the nearest ships, so they're just buying the extra few seconds that those galleons need to take them down. So we've got a bit of a death ball situation here. Yeah, going to keep going around the shore, picking off any villagers that dare get close enough. They'll also find the transport ship here, so they'll move around to the dock. They'll find the villagers at the back. This might be better for GamesGod. Ooh, it's not. Let's say I wondered if they'd attack here, but no, it still seems like they're attacking the middle for some reason. Also keeping an eye out for this transport ship. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. GamesGod's still Castle Age, by the way. And look at this navy going down. Storing up its ships in docks, it seems. Really surprised that it's not moving this army forward. Dropped down to 109 bills. Oh, I see some movement there. Just adjusting position, it seems. We've got cannon galleons on the way now. GamesGod finally clicks in. Has a castle at the bottom here as well, which is helpful. Trying to counter-attack, actually, that's surprising. So, Definitive Edition AI has been swapping out its navy for a land military, which is what I was talking about. This could reverse. I think Definitive Edition AI is built up too much now, so I don't think GamesGod gets a win here. But DE idling a lot. GamesGod actually tried to approach with a landing party. The transport ship unfortunately tried to land at the back of the island, so sometimes position enemies a little too far back. So these transport ships, they go for the back of the island. We've got two skirmishers. There you go, folks. GamesGod's army, and the transport ships are on the move. Here we go. I'm actually going to slow this down a mo, because I want to see. Karambits do take up one space each, it seems, but we've got a lot of units here. Yeah, they dropped off on the side at least. Oh, look at that. They just shred through. More shipments will come through. Looks like GamesGod is defending on the shore here. But yeah, Trev doing the work. Definitive Edition random melee, yeah. This is the second game. The previous game was also a 1v1. So it was a 1 in 49 chance for rolling melee as well. And more transport ships. GamesGod desperately trying to keep this army back, keeps training heavy demo ships now. But he's storing them up in the docks, but the docks are going to fall. There we go. Man, he's rebuilding these TCs. Look at this as well. 145 military. Definitive Edition AI going scorched earth. Keeps on deleting its vills to keep producing a bigger army. Yeah, I don't fully know about the Karambits, whether they should take half or not. I think 20 is already pretty scary, but there we go. Another victory there for Definitive Edition AI, bringing it to 2-0. I really do think that GamesGod had a chance there with investing in Navy when Definitive Edition AI had stopped. However, I think once it clicked up, it reprioritized to cavalry archers, of all things, which allowed Definitive Edition AI to get some breathing space. I mean, 117 military, and then it just spiked 179. Wow. Karambits, of course, taking up half space there. Scary. Collected resources, an extra 30,000 for Definitive Edition AI. Had boomed more, but eventually both islands running out of resources, so that's why that's leveled out a bit. But yeah, interesting to see 2 games in a row, Definitive Edition AI going 5 docks in Feudal Age. Seems really heavy to me, but oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't think it was a bug. I was just wondering if the 20 as a number is scary enough, but actually, yeah, they are not transport efficient if you consider them against like elephants. Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't mind it if the transport ship changed speed based on what was in it. So 20 Karambits moves along pretty quickly. 20 elephants chugs along. Would potentially be a way of doing it. I also do like the extra graphic of when elephants are in the transport ship. You see the little heads poking out. We move on to game 3, folks. So GamesGod lost another game there. So we'll be playing GamesGod's second map, which is Fortified Clearing. And Fortified Clearing here is a 3v3. So we'll see what civs we get for those. So let's go ahead and change our view. And let us roll some civs. We'll start with Definitive Edition AI. And on the flank, we have the Bengalis, followed by, as a pocket, Burmese, and then our second flank. I was hoping it was going to be another elephant sieve. Tatars. Which is nice, actually. So the Tatar bonus and the Bengali bonus looking quite nice. Extra TCs. TCs give you extra vills, TCs give you extra sheep. They'll have great view as well on the relics. And Bengalis have pretty decent monks as well, so could see a whole mix of things. I imagine we'll see elephant archers, but it'd be interesting to see what the AI rolls, I guess, for its strategy. Meanwhile, GamesGod's first flank will be the Woo. Interesting. Pocket, we're going to have Kajaras. Very nice. We'll see if he mills his sheep. Sounds like the kind of thing GamesGod might do. And our other flank is going to be the Chinese, it seems. Yeah, there we go. Let's get the game set up, shall we? Okay. We're going to be switching to Fortify Clearing. Six player. For GamesGod, we had the Wu, followed by the Gujaras. Oop. Followed by Chinese. Meanwhile, Definitive Edition AI had Bengalis, Burmese, and Tatars. Map size is correct. We've got the correct map there. All looking good. Let's go. And let's switch out to Capture Age View. Taking a little longer to load this one. Okay, let's change some names around here, shall we? So we've got GamesGod. And actually we get to keep the same sides, which is great. I don't have to keep changing the names on the overlay. There we are. We should be all good on that front. So let's zoom in a tad. Actually didn't work out too badly, that law. We have a lot of bunnies. Oh no, it's two sneaky turkeys pretending to be hares there. But we do have 8. One of them looks like has been slain, and food is wasting away there. This rhino actually hasn't been found. Neither have these geese. So, and GamesGod is trying to push the bunnies. So not a great start for GamesGod here. that will hold him back a little bit. Is trying to push with the Camel Scout, so knows to at least look that up. And another boar that's not been found. He'll get there eventually. Same with the geese. But some awful scouting going on here. More not been found here either. So maybe the scouting loops are either a little too large or the scout immediately tries to push deer when it sees deer class. One of those two things is happening. And that's hurting GamesGod at this point. Purple at least has got both of its rhinos, so is getting food in for that. Meanwhile, Definitive Edition AI. Ooh. What? All right. So we've got a greenhouse. Maybe he's contributing towards a house wall. I'm not sure. We have a rhino that's maybe only just been scouted with the lumber camp being there, so hasn't been hunted yet. We've got rabbits that have been scouted. And we're not missing geese as far as I can tell. Moving over to green. We've got another rhino that's not been hunted, so actually maybe this is deliberate. Maybe it has been scouted, but they're waiting for this one to get partially finished first. And there we go. That's exactly what's happening. Rabbit's not been hunted yet, but they have been scouted, and we will see. There we go. Ooh, a bit of aggro from red. Actually, Scout's doing okay out of that. A bit of an inefficient lumber camp. Vorik, was what you're mentioning there, was that about Silvertongue scouting? As in, was it trying to push? Oh, the pocket building. Okay. Oh, okay. So it finds the pocket is almost finding a flank. It's placing itself as the flank ally and then building from there. Yeah, weird. GamesGod doing a bit of a circle here. We've also got purple coming out all the way out over here, which is interesting. The weird thing is, I'd say even if you're not flank, right? Sorry, even if you are flank, that's a weird house position anyway. Like outside the walls. Maybe it failed to place a building somewhere and its town size was increased to a certain amount to fit it in. I'm not sure. But yeah, both of those seem weird. Do we get another one for out here, actually? So Cyan hasn't done that, it seems. Yeah, all of his houses seem to be around the centre. Two of the GamesGods are already feudal age. It does look like it eventually found its geese, and it is long distance hunting the hares. It's already going to have an overchop soon. I'll keep an eye out for that, Roy. I can see if I notice that with any other AIs. I hadn't really clocked it. I'm guessing you're not using up build line for anything, with houses particularly. We got Pocket GamesGod here, going for a slower feudal, although 19 vills. So looks like it is going to fast castle, but it's done it in a really slow, like inefficient way. Sorry, a low economical way. Oh, mining camps. Yeah, I think I do remember that. Definitive Edition AI, blue here seems to be asking for resources from its allies. Blue has gone fast castle. Clicked castle age ahead of yellow reaching feudal age. We are going to see scouts move forward. Red has gone scouts and archers. And purple's doing the same. Double archery range for purple. Do we have the same for red? Single archery range for red. Neither attacking yet, and all of the Definitive Edition AIs have clicked castle. How far is yellow from clicking up his towering first? No, get your buildings up. Okay, so yellow's showing no sign of wanting to go castle. I think this may have been just a really glitched out feudal age. Military count very much in favour of GamesGod, but isn't doing anything with it yet. GamesGod switching into skirmishers as well now. I don't know what makes him switch units, because Definitive Edition AI hasn't produced anything, so it's not seen anything to make it go, oh, I should counter archers. So I don't know if it's on like a timer or something else. I'd love to understand the logic behind that. Meanwhile, this is really sad to see. Yellow was primed for a fast castle and has instead used its food to train 5 scouts, or 4 if you include the starting one. Could have got to castle age early. Could have put some TCs down. Meanwhile, blue is castle age. And doesn't seem to be doing much with it at the moment. Saving for a TC. Yeah, there it is. Meanwhile, green does make use of it. Cyan's getting its eco upgrades. So it seems like that's what they're setting on at the moment, although Cyan is also going knights. And GamesGod has made everything apart from the thing that can deal with knights, which is fascinating. We got more, another stable on the way, which means more knights are probably on the way. Yellow's moving out. Blue's only training archers so far and has villagers on this this line here. Armor upgrade coming in for the scout cav. Diving under the TC. A Vil does go down. Definitive Edition A is immediately switching into to spears, and he won't need upgraded spears to deal with this. Trade cart, so GamesGod. Feudal age trade cart. This is idling a lot of blue. Red's being idled as well because the knights are coming in here too. And purple's come in as well. Green's being left to boom on 3TC. So while all this is happening, the damage needs to be done by GamesGod. And at the moment, this handful of crossbows is doing the work. I thought the knights had been knocked out, but now they have. So Red here did eventually train into spears. Did what was needed. Hasn't taken too much damage. Actually has a villager lead ahead of Cyan. And they're going into counter-attack. I don't know if counter-attack is the way to go. Camel Archer for the Burmese. Not Camel Archer, Arambai. I was going to say that's Berbers. Blue's actually built around the side, so there's a whole TC that's not going for anything here. We've got glitching out skirms. They're trying to go past the wall, I guess, and are a bit stuck. We've got forward towers, because of course it's GamesGod. That will actually potentially box in blue. I think the tower gets denied here. Does this one go up? I think that villager goes down, but if another villager walks up here, that will go up, particularly if the skirms keep these guys busy. More skirms on the way. Meanwhile, actually, the attack from red is idling eco as well from Cyan. The knights didn't get replaced. It's going into a full boom, and it's only got a handful of spears, and the skirms could potentially deal with those spears. Spears go down. Suddenly, there's pressure on the Definitive Edition AI. Green is still booming behind all of this. There's always a chance that green could 1v3 this if two of these go down. Definitive Edition AI is scary in that way. But the tower goes up. None of these games got a Castle Age, by the way. Yellow's probably the closest. But he's focusing on trying to get his tower down and build trade at the moment. And actually, these are slightly less in Blue's eco now. So Blue's economy is active again. Mostly active. Yellow's under a fair bit of pressure. Tatar's getting sheep for their extra TCs. They might get stolen. Attacking the lumber camp. But I think the towers actually add a lot of pressure here. They kind of starve Cyan of space. I was going to say we've got a TC under attack. It's under attack by the tower. So it's going to take a long time for it to go down, but this will cause the villagers to garrison in there. So that will idle a couple. The military count very much in favour of GamesGod. 40 military. Green has clicked Imperial Age. It's not moving into the battle yet. We've got one Arambai moving in. How do Arambai do in terms of pierce armor? That they have none. So against towers, probably not great. We actually have a couple of GamesGods going Castle Age. At the same time, so they'll find a going Castle Age. Green is going Imp. Oh, we've got Mangonels here, so this will these will take down the towers, particularly when the villager's repairing. So purple needs to respond to this. Again, they're still annoying some of the villagers here. Might get better units when Castle Age is reached. We've got light cavalry and crossbow from yellow. GamesGod potentially spreading out its upgrades too widely. Maybe wants to specialise in a particular unit. Red's going up against knights, but does have a good number of archers here. So that with the tower, oh no, they're fully armoured. Never mind, they're dead. And you can see the military count actually moving back in favour towards Definitive Edition AI, and green is moving out. Green has hit 132 vils, it's Imperial Age, it's gained conscription, and it is getting ready to mass an army up. It's going to start clearing out these towers. The Arambai will go down to this tower. This is not even garrison actually, it's doing a fair bit of damage. But yeah, where's GamesGod's pressure? It's got a couple of knights here, but it seems to be focusing down lumber camps rather than attacking the villagers. I think it could have done a lot more damage. I mean, it did halt the eco here, 53, but it was holding down blue while Cyan was still able to produce villagers pretty consistently. Here you go on cavalry. This is getting some decent hits in, but isn't killing anything just yet. Would have been nice. Ooh, what's going on here? Why? You got a lumber camp here. Oh, that's not great. And I think we've been here before. A fully boomed green definitive edition AI here. We got elite Arambai. We got elephants. We've got a military advantage, and we have an eco advantage. GamesGod just hasn't got the damage done. We've got an armoured elephant waddling in. I'd be surprised if he makes it to the TC. He does make it to the TC, but he's going to take 2 shots from that halberdier, and he's dead. Yellow's coming out to try and meet this. Crossbows and unupgraded skirmishers. All the DEC in the world is not going to save you from this. Military levels still close, but DE has the tech advantage. We've got Jian Swordsman coming out from red. Even with their slower training time. Really decent unit. But yeah, look at the numbers. The also going into trade. I think that's the only reason that GamesGod is not swamped with military right now. While this is going on, Purple seems to be investing in getting a castle down. It's training fire lancers now, knights, unupgraded archers. These towers. Wow, actually does get the kill. Needs to focus down his Mangonel. It will do. Great attempt at a shot there from Mangonel, just missed. But red is in trouble. Military level is even, though again, tech advantage with Definitive Edition AI. Yellow and purple need to do something here, and they need to do something quick. They've got to take out blue. Red's not going to hold here. 56 fills. Is still training units, but economy is idle now, so it's not going to be able to produce enough resources to make any more. Meanwhile, the same could be said for blue. A lot of his eco's under siege. Shavamsha Riders I really like as a choice here. Oops, I don't know what's going on with the screen there. Yeah, yellow piling on a lot of pressure here, actually. I really like that. All of these focusing down the gates. The gates will fall eventually. It's taking a long time. But red, 9 villagers. Military count still level. A load of Definitive Edition AI's eco is idle. Not quite 144 of it though. Red desperately tried to build a new TC. It's like, can I build it here? Blue says you may not. More Definitive Edition AIs going into Imperial Age now. Blue's nowhere near it. Blue actually taking a real heavy hit, but isn't going to go down before red GamesGod. GamesGod researching the Great Wall. The Great Wall of China. Here we go. I forget how much it boosts it by. Oh, decent. Good 500 HP there. I mean, he's already chopped around the wall, so I don't know what good that will do him. But blue, actually, he does go for blue. Not bad. We've seen counter pushes against Definitive Edition AI before, but no one's ever really taken one of them out. GamesGod is the closest so far from doing that. But as red resigns, the armies move over to the middle now. And I think blue survives this, actually. They got soon to be 2 Imperial Age armies. We've got Overchops over here, so they're in yellow's eco. Chukanu's being trained by purple. These are still Castle Age, as a reminder. Green is approaching being pop capped. So we'll see further upgrades, I'm sure. Cyan not too far away from that either. I'm just going to switch player character in the game because I don't want to not have control of the speed later. And we've got the gradual push here from Definitive Edition AI. We're going well into yellow's base at the moment. A load of these villagers are running around. There's not much in terms of... I suppose there's 21 halbs. Like I say, it's just halbs that are chasing them around at the moment. So that's why there's not much damage being done yet. But they are in the trade. Purple's still pushing over here, by the way. Blue down to 32 rolls. So GamesGod may take out one of the Definitive Edition AI still. Blue still producing. Yellow actually going towards purple now, bypassing yellow. Goes, go on Cyan, you can get that one. I'll deal with this guy over here. Purple doing a good job of holding over in this area. Unfortunately, yellow's in a dire situation, so isn't there to help. So this push is going to kind of get throttled, I think. Chukadi taking out the elephant archers there. Green expanding out of here. Interesting. That's a lot of rams. Got the flood of Hussar. Bell count for yellow trickling down. Good to see GamesGod put up a fight here. GamesGod winning 2-1 initially against the HD AI. The step up to Definitive Edition AI just seems a little bit too much at the moment. Had an exceptional round against Silvertongue. Put on a really great show. Potentially could have won the Team Islands game. I still stand by that. Just needed to patrol its navy and it would have kept control of water. So if you hear that, GamesGod, action patrol your navy. It'll really help. But Definitive Edition AI here, being a solid opponent. It beat both Naga and the supervillain to come out in first place in the group of death. It then beat Soldier 3-0 in the quarterfinals. And the only AI that's really given it a load of trouble has been Illuminati, who remains undefeated in this tournament. So a very well-deserved third place here for Definitive Edition AI. We'll speed this up. Don't think anything's going to change here for GamesGod. Swarm of green and cyan. And let's look at stats. Whoa. Big sea of green there. Green was left to boom. Good pressure on blue. I really like that, but it took 2 GamesGods to do that. One couldn't quite push against cyan, so green was left to it. And then green was kind of the moving factor there to pick them off one by one. It felt like the army was bigger than that, but there are the numbers. And yeah, I felt like GamesGod was a little slow to attack. It made units. You see, even here, right? 8 and 9 versus 1 and 1. Could have attacked sooner to potentially gain a bit more of an advantage and snowball that. Particularly in a 3v3, knocking out 2 of them would have been huge. Eco-wise, I'm expecting this should be Definitive Edition AI all day long. Yeah, comfortably. Although, the purple GamesGod there, decent. I think actually, I think the trade was kicking in there, which was boosting it up a bit. So, well done for that. And also, all of their farms would have had more food as well. And so actually they're spending a bit less wood as well, the whole team there. GamesGod was a little slow on its scouting as well of resources. Again, if it got those soon, it might have been able to click up quicker or do something with the resources it had. But well played, GamesGod. I always find it's quite brave, I would say, rolling random civ for all of these. So I feel I'd really be interested to know how this would have gone if GamesGod had picked his civs, but he's quite adamant. He always wants it to go random. Yeah, the fact that it does that rolling random is always great. And Definitive Edition AI, again, has had random rolls throughout. And to get third place with that, really solid, could be even more deadly with picks behind it. That means, folks, let's go back to our brackets. So 3-0 to Definitive Edition AI. Unfortunately, that does mean GamesGod there not quite getting the third place. So Definitive Edition AI here finishes third place. Bravo. And on Friday, 6 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, we will see Illuminati face Naga. Final opportunity for updates for that will happen is tomorrow evening. So tomorrow, 1 minute before midnight GMT. If there's any updates you want to your AIs, get them in before then. I'll do the draft with both scripters on Thursday, being all set to run the games on Friday. Really looking forward to that set. Yeah, really intrigued to see how that goes. Illuminati looking unstoppable at the moment. But I think if anyone is to threaten that, then Naga has been pretty consistent throughout a lot of tournaments recently. So would be a well-deserved competitor. But I'm going to leave it there, folks. Thank you for joining, and can't wait for the next one. Take care.